I'm here today to tell you about my experience at Cannibal Corpse at the Danforth Music Hall in Toronto. Sold out show. I've been looking forward to this tour date since they announced the tour. They announced that they were going to finish off the year on the road playing shows in US and Canada with none other than Dark Funeral, Immolation, and Black Anvil. And I was dying to see this lineup. 4 incredible bands, 4 bands that bring different energies to the stage, and with those energies, different styles and different performances. Now this show, because it was sold out when I got to the venue, the lineup was wrapping around the corner. I mean, it was incredible. It was like Mount Everest as far as a lineup is concerned, but it moved well. People got into the venue quickly enough. The doors opened at 6. Black Anvil was going on at 6:30. I wanted to make sure I was not going to miss a second of it because I love their new album, Regency, out right now on Season of Mist. I don't think you should miss this record. It's a great album, and that's pretty much what they played in their set. You got to listen to the new record, and you got to listen to the new record live. Black Anvil was a great way to start off the night. Great energy, great band, great sound. I absolutely loved every fucking second of it, so much that at the end of the show, I picked up a t-shirt. I wanted to support bands like Black Anvil, bands that are opening up a tour like this, because they don't get a lot of opportunities, they don't get a lot of minutes, and they need all the support that they can get, more so than the headliners. And I'm not saying that the headliners don't deserve the support, but the opening bands are sometimes forgotten, and they really need that help in order to make these tours at least slightly, I'm not going to say profitable, slightly profitable for them. So if you see these guys on the road, pick up a shirt, tell them that I sent you. Not that you're going to get a discount, but still, it's cool anyways. Maybe they'll give you a high five. All right, they'll give you a high five. So anyways, the night started off with them. I was excited to see how this new album, because I really enjoy the record, I really enjoy the sound, I really enjoy the atmosphere, but how that is going to translate to a live performance. It translated really well. I don't think it captured the overall atmosphere that you get on the record. It's 2 different experiences, but what it captures is the more raw and viral side that the band has when they're performing. And that was really interesting because it brought a lot of energy. I don't think they were concerned with the bands that came after, those fans, those sounds, those styles, and what the fans were expecting from those bands, and tried to fit into that mold. They came out and they played Black Anvil sound. And either you like it or you don't. But the raw aspect of their performance, how that sound came out so strong, so potent, it matched well with every single band that came after, even though their sound is very different from those bands. So it's a great way to start off the night because it allows you as a fan to kind of get acclimated to what the whole evening was going to be all about. And once again, for the fans of the new record, you get to listen it live. It's not every day that happens, so I was really pleased to have that experience to start off this incredible evening. Next came Immolation. I have to start off by saying this. Whoever was doing the mixing, kudos. Kudos for whoever was doing the mixing the whole evening. But the Immolation mixing at the table was out of this world. The drum sound was phenomenal, impeccable. It allowed the guitars and the vocals to really propel themselves into the front, to really travel forward, to have a different kind of impact. The 2 were distant from one another, but they were not bleeding into one another. So you were able to feel the presence, the essence of the drum sound. Great quality, great substance, very warm, very big, very thick, very powerful, and then still feel the guitars in the forefront with the vocals really bringing that energy into your face, into your own personal space. And I thought that mixing, that specific mixing that they put together for their performance really enhanced their sound, their music, their songs, and I walked away with a smile from ear to ear. I enjoyed every second of it, but it all came down to the mixing at the table and how that mixing was impacting the drum sound, and then how that drum sound was impacting everything else that was in the forefront. So kudos to whoever is doing it, because they did a phenomenal job. They made those songs really stand out. They gave them a different energy. They gave them almost a different aroma, different DNA that worked really well in the overall proceedings and in the overall big picture of all 4 bands that were performing on that night. Next comes Dark Funeral, and Dark Funeral was outstanding. I would say that they were the band of the night. They had incredible sound, incredible presence, incredible performance, really bringing a certain level of atmosphere to their performance, something that you would expect from Dark Funeral, but you're not always sure you're going to get when it comes to a live show, specifically when you're not headlining. And they were able to put that forward. They were able to create that mist. There wasn't mist in the air, but the sound, the vocal performance, the combination of the two really created this dark ambiance that had this invisible mist that made the overall night really unique when they were on stage. I enjoyed every song. I enjoyed every second. It was a little bit of a break because you're coming from Black Anvil to Emulation to Dark Funeral. So it brings the mood down. It takes you into the catacombs, if you will, of the evening before you're jolted into life or into death with Cannibal Corpse. So I honestly feel like where they are on that list, where they are in that order, actually enhances their music and enhances their performance. And it also enhances the perception of the fans, because after Emulation, you need something like that to take you in a different avenue, to take you into a different level, to give you a different sense of where you are before you come into Cannibal Corpse. If it was Emulation followed by Cannibal Corpse, I don't know if the impact of what Cannibal Corpse is going to do is going to be the exact same. So having Dark Funeral behind them really helped more Cannibal Corpse than Dark Funeral themselves, but their performance was outstanding. Not to say that Cannibal Corpse was below par, because that's not true. Cannibal Corpse was Cannibal Corpse. I mean, they're very balanced in terms of what they give. When you go to a Cannibal Corpse show, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, and this evening in Toronto, it was no different. But I have to say, overall, if I have to pick a band that stole the evening, Dark Funeral is my pick. Black Anvil was amazing, and then Cannibal Corpse was their usual self. Now, I love how quick they made their set be, or they made their set feel. There was not a lot of interaction with the fans. There was a few moments here and there. There were a few pauses, and I think the pauses could have been better filled. The set still moved very quickly, but I think if you're going to create pauses in between songs, specifically when you start to get towards the end of your set, you need to fill in those pauses a little bit better and not just have white noise, which is kind of what's happening when nothing is going on. So from that perspective, it didn't kill the mood. It offered a break, but I don't think the fans need that break. I don't need the set list needs that break. And like I said, if you have Corpse Grinder talking to the crowd during those dead moments, it allows the overall show to feel more fluid, to feel more, uninterrupted. And there was too many white noise interruptions, specifically towards the end of the show, not necessarily at the beginning. I love how they introduced Fuck With A Knife. I mean, they pretty much introduced it almost as a ballad. I loved it, because I was standing next to somebody who is not a metalhead, who's never been to a metal show, who's never seen Cannibal Corpse, and to go from that introduction to what the song is all about, the change in the face was priceless. So for that moment alone is definitely worth it. The lineup, as far as the set list is concerned, super diverse. I mean, they had 3 songs from the new record, but everything else was all over the place. So they played pretty much something from, consistent with their discography, like really spanning out their discography, picking a lot of tracks from different albums, not having too many songs from the same record outside of the latest 2 albums. There was pretty much 1 song from every record here and there. So the set list is super diverse. You're talking about 18 songs. They played just over 1 hour. So obviously it goes quick. I mean, they're not Opeth. They don't have 10-minute songs. So everything is going to go really fast. I just feel like as the show progressed, it was not like the crowd was getting tired, but it felt to me like the band was getting tired. So I just would like to see more fluidity, more of a sense of continuity, and not as much pause and break as they gave. And because of that, I feel like Dark Funeral were a little bit more proficient in their performance, in their management of their time, of their set, and how they put their things forward. But let's not forget about how good Emulation sound was, everybody's sound was, but Emulation for some reason really sounded outstanding. And then how raw, how impactful Black Anvil was in order to get the crowd going. They were pretty much that match that lit that fire, a fire that was never really put out until the last song from Cannibal Corpse. So great evening at the Danforth. Let me know if you were there, your thoughts on the bands, on my ideas, on my perception of what the show is all about. And also let me know if you saw the band already on one of the previous tour dates, or if you're planning on going to see this tour down the line. Hit me up in the comment section. I'm dying to hear from you, and I'll see you all at the next video.